McCartney met John Lennon on a summer's day in Woolton, Liverpool, at the annual garden party at St. Peter's Church. Paul was 15 and John was 16. Now, this party was a highlight for the townspeople. There were crafts and cakes, games, police dog demonstrations, and the traditional crowning of the Rose Queen. It all began at 2 p.m. when 2 lorries decorated with paper flowers crawled through the village on the way to the party. In the first lorry sat the Rose Queen, and in the second lorry sat the entertainers for the day, including a 16-year-old John Lennon and his band, the Quarrymen. They were a skiffle group, very country western blues, banjos, washboards. Paul says when he got to the party that day on his bike, he saw John playing and singing a song on stage called "Come Go With Me," but John didn't know any of the words, so he was just making up his own. Later that day, the two were introduced, and Paul showed John how to tune his guitar because he had it tuned in a banjo setting. Paul then went on to play a medley of Little Richard songs. When he was done, one of the band members whispered to John and said, "John, he can do Little Richard. You can't do that." That's brilliant. And lo and behold, just 2 weeks later, John invited Paul to join the Quarrymen. Now, at first, they were only playing covers until they soon realized that oftentimes at their gigs, all the bands before them were playing their exact same set. So that's when John and Paul decided to write their own. And they did at Paul's dad's house. And they smoked Thai food tea there in a pipe that belonged to Paul's dad. And Paul said, "It didn't do much for us, but it got us on the road."